We are looking at developing energy hubs in sub-Saharan Africa so that we can use batteries to charge electric vehicles in community hubs, either in suburbia or in rural environments or in very remote environments.
We know that electric vehicles, after some time, the batteries stop being useful in electric vehicles, but they still have 70 to 80% capacity. So we want to exploit that to help develop hubs that can help people in Africa access electricity.
It's an absolutely fascinating project because it's very, very systemic, because it touches really on life in Africa and all the strata of life, from the affluent middle classes who begin to own electric vehicles to poor people in rural environments who want to use them, and all the stakeholders along the supply chain who really have to come together and work on making something like that happen.
We have developed a consortium around this project, so with technology partners, but also NGOs and various governments.
We're hoping that through batteries we can give people a lot more energy independence and of course generate energy with a much lower carbon footprint. In sub-Saharan Africa there's a lot of sun, so we're hoping to use solar panels. The other thing we are aiming for is to use reused batteries, because of course we're about to get a lot of big batteries from trucks and buses coming essentially onto the second-hand market, and the recycling of batteries at the end of life isn't terribly environmentally sound. So we're trying to prolong the life of those batteries as long as we can, and we think one of the places is to use them in these energy hubs.
The level of interest we have, for example, from policymakers who are encouraging us to do the research, the level of support we have from universities, for example, the Open University where we are hosted, but also other universities in their countries like Uganda where we are doing the pilot project. So all that encourages us that there's a lot in this, so it's a measure of success. And also potential donors or partners, philanthropists who want to work with us.
If people accept it, if people use it, we are happy. And I think once we get to that point, we can then do a benchmarking against alternative technologies.
We are working with the energy industry itself, the transport sector. We are working with sectors like agriculture, because you want these hubs ultimately to be placed where they can serve real people doing activities on the continent. So we are working with different sectors to try to implement this.
Which is of course very important. It's a technologically challenging problem to bring together different battery technologies, connect it up to make it reliable, to make it durable. But I think there's also a lot of social and business administrative innovation, because it's not going to work unless people will buy into it, will be able to afford it, will own it, will maintain it, and will believe in it. And I think we're also trying to very much look at this soft side of it, so that the two things can come hand in hand.
We are still in a stage of transition. We are moving away from these fossil fuels into the renewables, and that is still something people have to understand, especially where we are targeting to introduce these hubs. So many people are still stuck in the old models of thinking, of saying that we have to depend on petrol and diesel. So we have a lot of work to train, to sensitize people.
And that they need to prioritize sustainability in the moment when they have to make a decision, which means that we almost have to background the sustainability and give the people what we want, but making sure that they get everything in a sustainable way.